Welcome to my English classroom. Please hit the subscribe button over here to be a part of notification squad, and don't forget to hit the bell button so that you can get the video in your notification as soon as it is uploaded. Hello everybody, welcome to my English classroom, and I am your English class teacher. Today we are going to discuss a new chapter, a new play entitled Look Back in Anger, written by John Osborne. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe this video. So let's get into my English classroom. Okay? So today we are going to begin with another play, another 20th century play, and it's entitled Look Back in Anger. Okay. Now we have to get into the very conceptual part of it. And what is that conceptual part? Why the title is called Look Back in Anger, which is itself is an indicative of the fact that how the drama will going to turn. Now, Look Back in Anger is a kind of a play, or rather the title is suggestive of the fact how these Britishers, especially these people of England, how they are taking their present status after the legacy of more than 200-300 years of their reign around the world, and now how they are when they're out of every country, how they are taking it right now. And whether that attitude is still there or not. Of course, that attitude is still there, and you'll find that attitude in the case of Jimmy. You'll find that attitude in case of, somewhere in the case of Helena. The problem is not with anything, but rather ego. And our problem is there with the ego. People are not ready to take their present status as reality. And they are having the same master temperament. And remember master and slave, what was there before 1947 in context to India. So they are still in that particular mode of temperament. Another thing is that the influence of USA is increasing like anything. And this is another cause of concern for the Britishers, and cause of frustration for the characters of person like Jimmy Potter. And this play will going to deal all this stuff not in a detailed way, but rather in a more indicative way. We're not going to talk about England and America, but it will be indicative of the fact. Another thing that this play is generally taken up as a kitchen sink drama. Now, what is a kitchen sink drama? Kitchen sink drama is a play where a kind of a people are living in a given apartment kind of a stuff, a single place where scene never shifts from one end to the another. There is a single placement or platform of the scene. There is no scene going from one geographical area to the another geographical area. These things does not happen. And there are a bunch of characters like we are having in the form of Allison, Cliff, Jimmy, Helena, and more. Colonel, Backphone. There are many characters. So, and they juggle with each other throughout their present conversation. But they still unite. After juggling, they unite. Then after juggling, then they unite. Then after juggling, then they unite. So things are going on. But one day there came a character called Helena, who tries to clear off all the dirt, all the all the utensils from the sing so that the drama should get over. So we'll try to understand, does it gets over the way it is proposed to, or it gets more complicated in its course of progress. So the opening of the play sets up the play's tone. It is very shabby, things are very unsettled, newspapers are all thrown around. Right? The furnitures are very old. Take care. And it all opens up in a small apartment. Take care. There are some teddy bears also. There are some soft toys, quite like squirrel, like what is called bear. Actually, squirrel represents the character called Allison, and bear represents the character called Jimmy. Okay, keep this in mind, and this will go around the play. Okay. The curtain rises, the audience sees Jamie Potter and Cliff Lewis seated on two shabby armchairs, and they are smoking cigarettes, or rather it is a pipe. Take care. Now they are reading a newspaper which is covering 80% of their body. Rather, the audience can only see, their their legs. The whole part is covered like this. No, they're reading newspaper like this. It is a very traditional way of reading. Remember, 10 years ago, people used to read like this, and in the morning you can see only the legs. Things are all covered with the newspaper, right? Now, they are wearing a tweed jacket and a flannel pants. Okay. Now, Cliff and Jimmy is about a same age. Both are of same age, and Cliff is a very easygoing kind of a person. Okay. Jimmy is a very rough, very hard-hitting kind of a person. Okay. There is another girl which is there present, women rather present in the area. It is whose name is Allison. She is Jimmy's wife. She is tall, beautiful, okay, slim, and good personality. Okay, but her personality is not attractive enough to gain the attention of the audience. Now, she is kind of a woman who is always been hidden by the orchestrated patriarchy of the house. Okay, what is orchestrated patriarchy? The male dominance, and that is why she has not been. She cannot be seen in the house itself, or rather, she has not been noticed by the audience. Okay. Now Jimmy throws his paper down in disgust. He's reading newspaper and he's very disgusting. Okay. And he says that this is a very important thing. Okay. All the book reviews and paper reviews sounds the same. But he says that all the book reviews and paper reviews sound the same. सारी चीजें तो एक ही तरह का sound करती हैं. Bloody hell. This shows the rising market of plagiarism. Plagiarism. And today also it is very evident. And if you need to write a book, take 5 books related topics, 5 books on the topic that you want to write a book. You need to take 5 or 6 books on the same topic, or something like which is different but connected topic. See a bit from this, see a bit from that, see a bit from the third one, and mix them in a good way, and publish your own book. Right? He asks Cliff antagonistically, does the paper make you feel ignorant. ठीक है? This is what happening today. Papers are ignoring us. We don't find news related to what is, and I'm not saying that you go on and print news related to my institute or about me or about my student, but the things which is related to us, like for example roads, like for example jobs, like for example other things, you won't find places in newspapers about these things, at least not on the front page. If you will find, you'll find in the small boxes at the third or the fourth page. And what do you find in the first page? You will find Nirav Modi, you will find things related to politics, which is not connected to us, which is not connected directly to us. So in this way, newspapers, media is ignoring us. So Jimmy called Cliff a peasant, and we came to know that Cliff is not have the same education what Jimmy is having. Now Jimmy then turns his head towards Allison, who was only half listening about the ranting of Jimmy, about the way whatever things he was speaking. She was only half listening because she is already fed up of Jimmy. Okay, so she never listened. Okay. Now Jimmy also thinks that Allison is not so brilliant as what Allison thinks of herself. Jimmy says that you are not so brilliant as you think of yourself. Okay? And still there was no response from Allison, and he gets frustrated. Nobody is ready to listen to me. Nobody is listening to me. What the hell, I'm here? As if I am only talking Tom who is speaking but nobody is listening. And he snatches the newspaper from Cliff. Take care. Now Jimmy tells the other two, well, I am hungry, give me some food. Ye to sun lo, bhook lagi hai, khana to de do. Cliff says, you are always wanting food. हर टाइम तुमको खाना ही चाहिए. ठीक है? You will turn fat, Jimmy. Jimmy says, it will never going to happen. ठीक है? Because we just burn everything. We just burn everything, whatever we eat. ठीक है? Then Cliff says that you have creased my papers in a wrong way. Cliff says to Jimmy, you have creased the papers in a wrong way. Jimmy says, paper in a wrong way? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? It is only me in this house who knows how to treat with the papers. मैं तो हूँ एक अकेला पढ़ा लिखा who knows how to treat the papers. And you are saying that I've not creased the paper in a perfect way? Now Cliff is very kind to Allison. Very, very kind to Allison. ठीक है? He tells to Allison that please leave that laundry, that ironing, and come here, sit down. She leaves the ironing and comes near to Cliff, and she sits down. And he gently takes her finger and started to chew or suck, whatever. And he tells her that you're beautiful. Now Allison is wife of Jimmy, not Cliff. You can find the physical connection between two of them, okay, which is sexually denoteful. Now Jimmy, on the other hand, is still there, present, but he's least bothered, but rather he's not bothered about it. Again, the concept of postmodernism the ways of postmodernism is been arrayed into the personality of Jimmy. So what? If they're close to each other, क्या हुआ तो? If men will not be close to women, then who will be close to women? Why our thoughts should have some taboos of boundaries between men and women? He only says that when Cliff says that you're beautiful, he only says that that's all everybody tell me about Allison. यही तो एक बात है जो Allison के बारे में सब बोलते हैं, ठीक है? Now Cliff's trousers were wrinkled, and it was noticed by Allison. Cliff's trousers are wrinkled, and it was noticed by Allison. And she says, why don't you give me your trouser? I'll iron them. He quickly takes off the cigarettes, the keys, the lighters and everything out of his trouser, and he gives his trouser there and then only, right in the midst of the stage, or rather the room. Again, this shows that there is nothing to hide. This shows the openness of postmodernism. This shows that the liberalism, so-called liberalism of the modernistic world, where the world is heading towards. ठीक है? Jimmy, on the other hand, is very much, thinking about his own old England. I can still remember. There was a time when we used to get cookings from Paris, rubies from India, diamonds from Africa, moral from Ports, politics from Moscow. What was that day? So great that days were. And he shifts his attention towards Allison's father. Sarcastically says, your father was there in the army for 40 years. ठीक है? Sarcastically means यहाँ पर ये हुआ कि he's trying to say that if your father was there, what your father was doing, why we are not holding the same situation what we were doing before 1940s. And somewhere down the line, your father and the whole army should be blamed for that. Because he's not ready to accept the American age in which he's living. Now Cliff and Jimmy discuss that there was information came in that Allison's friend Webster is thinking to come to this particular apartment, and Cliff and Jimmy discuss that whether Webster should come in to settle here or not, to live here or not. And Jimmy says no. Cliff says why? Jimmy says he's very polite, he's very loving, he's very affectionate, and he's very calm towards me, and that makes me remind of my older girlfriend, and so I don't want him to come here. मतलब a boy reminds him of his girlfriend. This is another way of saying that there is no discrimination between a woman and a male counterpart on any ground, at least in the postmodern room of drama. So he's polite, he's loving, he's calm, he's composed, he's very generous. Oh my God, my girlfriend was also that in the same way, and he reminds me of my girlfriend. And what was her name? Madeline. ठीक है. Now he goes on to accuse, he goes on to, to despair Allison and his family. He calls them sycophantic, he calls them pusillanimous, ठीक है. And of course he calls him, very, very phlegmatic. Now sycophantic means होता है, what is the meaning of sycophantic? Sycophantic means somebody who's not psychologically okay. ठीक है. In a way you can say, or if you go into the proper word, ठीक है, somebody who is self-seeker, sycophantic, self-centered, खुद अपने बारे में सोचने वाला. Phlegmatic, somebody who is warm, somebody who is very angry, somebody who is very phlegmy kind of a person, ठीक है. Sluggish person. And pusillanimous. Pusillanimous के मतलब होता है coward. PUSILLANIMOUS, ठीक है. Now the concept that Jimmy wants to listen on the radio just appeared, and he started to listen to the radio, ठीक है. And suddenly the bell started to ring outside, and he gets annoyed of the fact that bell is ringing, he's not able to hear the concert, ठीक है. Now on this, Cliff tries to dance on the bell so that he could protect, or he could improve the mood of Jimmy, ठीक है. लेकिन Jimmy was protesting on the bell, ठीक है. So over here the first scene gets over. We'll get to the second scene tomorrow at 5 o'clock, ठीक है. कल 5 बजे हम लोग इसके बारे में बात करेंगे, ठीक है ना. And we'll be trying to do the 2 scenes over there, inshallah, ठीक है. So we'll meet tomorrow.